If you've ever been to Oval Beach or even just driven around the Douglas and Saugatuck area, you probably have passed by this, a giant root beer barrel. Pretty cool, right? I mean, there really is nothing else out there like this that exists. But why the heck is it even here in the first place?
Well, to find out, I think we should ask the daughter of the man who first made it popular in West Michigan.
We had foot-long hot dogs and frozen mugs and root beer floats. It was really yummy.
That's Bonnie Verwise, or Bonnie McVoy back in the day. And if you've ever been to the barrel, that's a name and a face you might recognize.
Well, you talk about being the car hop girl, and in case people don't believe you, there she is. Right? That's you?
I think I was about 19 then.
19 years old. Look, you're having the time of your life, it looks like.
Well, it was a great job. People were really nice, and we got usually a free hot dog for all our
Sounds
work.
like a great deal.
I know.
Bonnie's dad bought the barrel in 1954, 2 years after its creation. The original owners built it in their backyard in Flint. They brought it to Saugatuck, about 200 yards from its current spot, and then sold it to Bonnie's family.
My father was sick. In 1954, he bought the barrel so my mother would have a livelihood. And she operated, he died actually the year later, 1955, and she operated it for 7 years, and we sold it in 61.
And in those 7 years, Bonnie says it got busy. After her dad's death, her mom needed a ton of help. So her brother made the hot dogs, her mom poured the root beer, and Bonnie was the car hop.
Lots of business as everybody came around the corner to go to the Oval. We caught them all coming and going.
Probably to come check out the cute car hop girl that was serving them all their food. That was your job. You see your picture on the sign there. What were your responsibilities as the car hop?
Carrying the tray without spilling the root beer.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
After Bonnie's mom sold it in 61, it transferred families a few more times until 1978, when it closed for good and looked like it would never reopen again. This once crazy corner where people's smiles were as full as their stomachs was left deserted, and this giant root beer barrel hitting its expiration date.
Well, I've lived here since the 80s, so we passed it all the time, and it was just in disrepair. It looked like it was just about ready to fall down, which I heard it was about ready to fall down.
That is, until just a few years ago.
On a root beer float.
The Saugatuck Douglas Historical Society bought it for $1 and then leased the property to Michael White.
All right, we'll meet you at that second window to pick up your food, okay?
And in 2016, they served their first customer in almost 40 years.
There you go. Yep. Have a great day.
I mean, you seem like you're enjoying the heck out of this, even though you're working your
I
butt off
enjoy it.
every
Yeah,
day.
it's a blast. Yeah, it's one of the hardest jobs I ever had, but it's also one of the most funnest jobs I've ever had.
White does a whole lot more than just hold the lease here. From mid-May to Halloween, you can find him slinging dogs and serving root beer 7 days a week.
There you go, one nice fresh root beer for you.
When it gets busy, he says they can dish out up to 700 hot dogs and more than 700 drinks in a single day.
I met a lot of the workers. I've heard a lot of stories on people having their first kiss here. They got engaged here. They met their first boyfriend here.
It sounds like such a historic staple landmark of
Yes.
this small community
Yes.
in Saugatuck, and it's taken the entire community to renovate it to make it look like what it looks like today, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Students at Saugatuck High School helped by building that metal base you see, and the community came together to support the rest.
What are the numbers that we see on the side?
Okay, the numbers that you see on there, when they took it apart, they had to know where each plank went back. So they went ahead and did a fundraiser. For $150, you could buy a number. You sponsor the labor and the material for that plank, and that's your number forever.
Talking about this root beer and the hot dog is getting me hungry. It's getting me thirsty.
Yeah,
Is there anything
let's
you
get
could
you a
serve?
root beer.
Let's do it. That's the real reason we came here.
They carry one brand of root beer. It's called Spruckers, and it is the #1 root beer in Wisconsin. And you know, with all those hundreds of daily customers, he says they needed a company that could handle the volume. And let's not forget about the dogs.
I mean, check out this food. This is what they call the Rhino. You got mac and cheese and chili on a hot dog. Are you kidding me?
Several kinds of dogs, several kinds of side options, all sparking a similar reaction. Troy and I getting a literal taste of why this place is so special. A place Bonnie says her dad would be proud of.
Your dad didn't necessarily get to see his purchase live out.
No.
How do you think he would feel if he found out, if he knew that this was standing here today, operating as well?
Oh, I think his heart would be, you know, just overflowing because, as I say, he bought it so my mother would have a livelihood. He knew he was very ill, and so I think he would be really impressed.
You want to smile for the camera?
All right.
All right, 3, 2, 1. This has been moving through the mitten at a Saugatuck staple, the Douglas Root Beer Barrel. Amazing stuff. Troy, cheers. Mm-mm-mm.